training partners. Here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners.
Welcome to Training Partners, where two fitness professionals bring you strong takes held loosely. I'm Weezy Shoemaker, and I'm joined by Justin McClintock. And I don't know what we're talking about today, but I know that we're talking.
I like that sonorous introduction. That works for me.
Well, I had to because mere moments before this, I had a mental come apart about what the words were supposed to be.
Getting more than 5 words together at a time. Yeah. Completely.
Hi, Baloo. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, you can hear him, right? He's in a fit. We had plumbers in today.
Yeah.
And when people are in, especially because they have to go in and out of the house and all around,
Mm-hmm.
I just put him in another room and close the door, and he's enraged, like smashing against the door, barking. And he's going to act out for the rest of the day because he's in a little mood, and that's just what's going to happen.
That's right. That's right. He fundamentally is a giant toddler.
100%. Yeah, he's like, I mean, he's actually like 10 years old, but he is not as good as a 10-year-old kid. He is, he's really a 3-year-old.
He's 90-pound Jack.
Yeah, and gets in a snit, and you're like, oh, well, this is going to affect the rest of the day. Cool. If I'm lucky, he'll take a nap, but he's still going to be a little cranky after the nap. What are you going to do?
Yeah. We've recently returned from some time off, and I don't think we talked about this on the last episode, but Ted and I took the boys to Dollywood, which was lovely. It was lovely. It was so intentionally created with families in mind. Like, there are other theme parks that I've been to where there's intentionally a part of the park made for young kids.
Right.
Dollywood was not like that, in that, hey, you'll have a roller coaster next to a 48-foot or 48-inch ride, next to a 32-inch ride, next to a small playground, next to a bathroom, next to a place to eat. And it was like that everywhere in the whole park.
That's great.
Like, nowhere was for adults, nowhere was for children. It was just like, hey, there are going to be families here, right? And so one of the rides that we all went on, because Ted hates roller coasters. I love roller coasters. Walter is tall enough to ride a lot of them, but terrified. And Jack is extremely interested, but unwilling to confront that he is like 38 inches tall. Right. And so on one of the rides that we all went on, it was like effectively like, imagine a horse on a trail trotting. This was like that, but motorized. And instead of being horses, they were bears.
Okay. So and you're like sitting in/on a thing and it's going around.
Not in. On top of. You like literally like strap in with a seatbelt. That's it. There's no back to it. There's no like up and over. I'm strapped in now. It's, hey, you and or your child, lock in. And then you're on this track going like somewhere between 6 and 10 miles an hour for 2 minutes, right?
Cool.
So I went with Walter. Ted went with Jack. And Jack was furious that he had to go with somebody. He's like, I want to go by myself. I want space, which is what he says, because we're teaching him appropriate consent, but he will use it as like his
weaponized consent.
Just get away from me, right? Yeah. We need to get in the bath, Jack. No, I need space. Okay. So he pulled that, and they still got on the ride. And through the next 2.5 minutes, roughly, Jack was trying to exert as much control over his body and his possessions as he possibly could. And so on the ride, he managed to get his shoes off, try to throw them. Ted intercepted. Get his socks off, try to throw them, get intercepted. And then like try as hard as he could to wiggle his way out of the ride to just be like free roaming in this ride. And I really felt for that. and was grateful to not be the parent
I was going to say.
running interference on that.
It's a great story to tell you about the thing my husband had to deal with. Because
Right.
Jesus.
Right. And so when I think about like classic toddler behavior, like I think that, and I imagine how much more difficult it would be if he was 90 pounds like Baloo.
Yeah, for sure. He has a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
A lot of feelings.
He's got a lot of feelings without a lot of ability to articulate them.
Yeah, exactly. I should get him one of those like dog mood boards where I think those are nonsense, but where they press the buttons about like, hungry, no. Like, I don't think this is happening.
No, I don't think that's real. I don't think that's real. What are we talking about today, Justin?
So I've titled this kind of vague outline I have in front of me, Start Yesterday.
Oh.
And it's about the idea that so much of the stuff we do with people is more important than I think people initially give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take longer than people initially think before they have a conversation with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of my sub headline or subtitle of this is why waiting for the right time is sabotaging your fitness and setting you up for an emergency. I've had several conversations the past couple of weeks with people who are having like really challenging health struggles in different ways. Some physically, usually a combination of physical and other things, but a lot of them happened out of nowhere, right? It wasn't a creeping thing which we see sometimes, where they lost a little bit of function, where maybe they were atrophying or just being more sedentary, or things were kind of slipping away and we need to course correct and point in the other direction. Everything was fine and looking good and there was an accident, or everything was fine and they got this terrible illness that is now probably chronic and there's not a whole lot they can do other than manage it. Or that, they were very socially active and suddenly have a frozen shoulder. Like, I woke up one morning and my arm isn't moving. What the hell am I going to do?
Right.
And I want to thread the needle here a little bit, because the point isn't to scare people into getting fit and moving and caring about their recovery and all of that.
No, that's never the point.
No, but it is, and we talk a lot about having big whys and big goals sometimes. It's being able to be strong enough to withstand things that could knock someone else down is incredibly valuable.
Yes.
And it's harder to convince people. It's everybody. It's harder to convince myself to do this for myself. It is harder to convince people to prioritize these things now, because they seem relatively easy, not a big deal. A lot of times they go in that bucket of, yeah, I know I should do that. I'm working on it. Things are really busy right now. Until you're sitting in an emergency room or an orthopedist's office, or going in for surgery consult, or going to the pharmacy for your, sixth type of medication that you need.
Right.
And suddenly you're there. Like, well, I'm not claiming we can prevent all of this, but a lot of this can be prevented, and or people can be made significantly more resilient. So when the same thing happens to them as what happened to a different version of them, it's no big deal. And they can kind of shake it off.
This calls to mind one of the lectures from CrossFit Level 1 ages ago about the hedge of fitness. Right? Like, we are all likely to encounter some obstacles. And if you are really well trained, right? If our metabolic state is in a good position, I've got good muscle tone, I understand how to fuel myself well, I'm in a good rhythm of moving my body, my bone density is in a good place, which these are not things that you need to go out and get a DEXA scan and figure it out, as long as you're doing the boring basics. If we have that hedge of protection, we have a lot more room for shit to fall apart. Right. And one person in particular who comes to mind for me is my dear friend and longtime client who started working with me after she had a battle with cancer. She was extremely fit going into cancer, almost died a number of times anyway, and was told, many times along the way, hey, if you were not so healthy going into this, you would not have made it. Like, full stop. We can say that. Because she had a lot of like health barrier, right? Think
Sure.
of it as your protective moat, right? And then we worked really hard to get her really strong on the other side of cancer, and she had a recurrence. And so, like, is basically right back to where she was after the first round, which can feel really frustrating. But, like, my God, you're still alive. And
Yeah.
it is because of this work that you had done. I don't think enough people realize that. They wait until the house is on fire to get a bucket when, hey, wouldn't it be nice for me to just make sure that, like, my flame retardant situation is in a good place?
I completely agree. And I thought we could have an interesting discussion about this
Mhm,
because I tend to approach it from a bunch of different angles, right? Like,
mhm,
if someone tells me that 3 months ago they were pretty sedentary and now they're getting 3,000 steps a day
mhm,
and they drink water with every meal and they're really
mhm,
happy about it,
mhm.
I'm legitimately happy for them. That's
Yeah,
awesome. That's really
yeah,
good progress. And if you tell me that's what you've been doing for the past 3 months, I start getting frustrated on their behalf that we haven't taken it further because
sure,
I strongly believe that people are not prioritizing their strength and their agility and their vitality enough.
sure.
Like, being a better, more capable, more durable, more energetic person is important because of all the things it lets you do day to day. And like, it's cool to be active and it's cool to look the way you want to look and it's cool to,
Mhm,
but it's to withstand the big things. It's
right.
for those moments of, oh, can I sprint? All
Yeah,
of a sudden, there's an emergency, and the next 15 seconds are going to decide how things go one way or the other, whatever that thing may
right,
be. Maybe I'm
right.
trying to catch a vase that's falling off a shelf. Not that big a deal, but it'd be cooler if I got it.
Yeah.
Can I get there in time?
Maybe
Am I
is trying
coordinating enough
to
to do this?
intercept a stroller that's about to go into moving traffic.
Yeah. Like, are you able to react and withstand these things?
Mhm.
It's really important. And it's more important than a lot of the goals that get people moving initially, right?
Yeah,
Like, uh, some version of quote unquote vanity is often a motivator for people. And I
right.
get that because it's easy to see and it's fast feedback. And you get
Mhm,
a lot of feedback from the world and are deluged through, various forms of media about how important that is. And I'm not against wanting to change your body. That's fine.
mhm,
As you know, we can do it safely and responsibly and all of
mhm,
those other things. But we need to be aiming at something bigger and higher.
mhm.
And it's already too late to start.
Yeah,
Like, that's where this start yesterday thing came from. Like, almost everybody is behind and it's kind of an emergency, but we also have to introduce it in a way that is sustainable, right? Because this
right.
isn't me issuing a 30-day challenge of this is what we're going to do to get America up and moving again. And it's like, no, because we need to do the boring basics and care about sleep and care about water, etc. But it also needs to be progressing and we need to be paying attention to kind of how you move and are able to move and are able to react and all of these
Mhm,
things in a way that progresses you forward and
mhm,
keeps making you better and more prepared and more capable.
mhm. We need to MAPA, make America progressive again.
Yes. Yes, please. That's it. Print the hats. I'm I'm ready. It can be really easy to, there was a quote from Abraham Lincoln that I've run into a million times over the years, or an alleged quote, and it's something to the effect of, if someone asks me to cut down, if someone gives me an hour to cut down a tree, I'm going to spend the first 45 minutes sharpening the axe, right?
Right.
I'm going to make the perfect plan and get ready and make sure all my tools are aligned, and then it's going to go really well. Don't do that. Start right now.
Start
Because
now.
no matter what you start on, it's going to change anyway. It's not
Yeah,
going to be the right thing probably in 6 weeks. Like,
yeah.
we're going to have to adjust it and change it again. So get going so we can figure that out because too many people have been setting various goals
Mhm,
for the past 3 years.
mhm.
And now they're like, what would be different if you had started walking 3,000 steps and drinking water 3
Right,
years ago?
right. Yeah. I know, I've shared quite a bit about, like, trying to find what's the right fit in fitness for me personally.
Yep.
And something that I've recently started doing that I am really, really excited about, something that I was noticing is that if I was doing my own programming, I was programming for myself, it was taking way longer than it needed to, because a lot of the time I was also deciding like, oh, I could turn this into content. And like something that should take 40 minutes all in takes an hour and a half, and I'm frustrated, and I've spent the whole time on my phone, and it hasn't benefited me in the same way that it would have. And so I've needed to have it be shorter, to have it still have some progressive overload to it, and to have my phone not be a part of the equation. And so I'm utilizing at the moment Peloton's free membership,
Sure.
which gives you access to, I mean, hundreds
Tons
of videos, and they're all filtered by what is it, what do you need, how long is it a beginner, intermediate, or advanced level? And rather than bouncing around and doing a bunch of different ones, I'm doing the same one, like on Monday, repeatable, on Wednesday, repeatable, on Friday, repeatable. And I am keeping track of, okay, in this 30-second spread, I did 6 reps at this weight. I'm going to try to do 6 reps at a little bit heavier of weight next week, right? So, and I'm playing it on my phone, which, because it is MagSafe, I can attach it to either the bench or the rig.
Mhm.
And so it's not accessible to me, right? I put myself on DND, I put it right there. There's no option for me to make content. And I know, hey, this is a 20-minute video. I'm going to be done in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like noticing and allowing yourself to get feedback, and not mulling on, well, I don't know, this, like, it is this routine optimal, and how much more information do I need about blah 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 blah. We talk about this all the time. You don't need more information, you need more doing, you need more reps. And it might very well be true that 6 weeks from now I'm like, yeah, this doesn't serve me anymore, I need to do something different. Sick. Cool. It's good for now.
Exactly. Like, and pretty close is more than good enough most of the time. I had a conversation with a client, and they asked, and this kind of question comes up all the time. Clients, prospective clients, people who just want to talk about fitness, and it is, should I be working out harder? Should I be going harder? Should I be going harder? Like, well, I don't know. Maybe. It seemed like what you said and what you reported and what you wrote down says that you're going pretty hard. Like, we are like RPE 8 plus on almost everything for almost every working set. Do you want to go harder? Well, sometimes I feel like I could go harder, but then when I'm doing the workout, I feel like it's at capacity. I couldn't do any more than I'm doing. Right.
Probably not.
So it seems like it's hard enough. May I follow up with a potentially challenging question? And they said, sure. I said,
Sure.
If you want to work out harder, why aren't you? I mean, if I give you 3 sets of 8, RPE 8 to 9, like, you should be laid out. Like, that should be the absolute bleeding edge of capacity.
Right.
So are you being honest with yourself? Or are you just having one of those moments where it's, well, is there a way to be better than I am?
Right.
And those kind of tipping points can be, should I go a little harder, or is this fine? And if they decide it isn't hard enough, that might be enough for the client to just throw the whole program away and stop exercising for 2 months.
Right.
Well, this isn't hard enough. So
this isn't hard
I
enough,
need
so
to
I'm going
find
to do
something
nothing.
else. Yep. And like, close is plenty. And as we know, routine and consistency is way more important than the perfect workout. And the perfect workout will keep changing.
Right.
You know, like, it sounds this,
and it's a myth. It's a fucking myth.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as the perfect workout. Like, it doesn't exist. And if you're out there listening to this and chasing for, like, I just need to find exactly the right fit, you're gonna keep looking.
Yeah. You might find something that fits pretty good right now. That's awesome. It might not fit in 6 months, and that's also okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way things are. That's how we make progress. But it's so important to kind of overcome the inertia of staying still and or not making progress. I think if people didn't catch it, one of the most important things you're doing, you got the free app, it's time bound, you're not on your phone. Manageable, sustainable, fits in your life. Awesome. And you're tracking it and progressing it.
Yeah.
You're not sitting
there
on the bike for 10 minutes, covering exactly the same distance at exactly the same pace every Tuesday for 20 Tuesdays in a row.
Yeah.
Now there might be people, there's tiny ways to adjust that. We were like, oh, well, it was a really hard this week, and it was like only a little bit hard this week. So I think I'm getting better. That's progress. Then we need to step it up.
Right.
We need to find the ways to push it to continue adapting you, because we don't know what's coming down the pipe, and preparing you to be as durable and resilient as possible is of utmost importance.
Right. Totally. We need to progress.
Yes, exactly. And it's not a question of, again, back to that, like people, of course, have a choice, and you don't have to work with us. You should probably work with somebody or a program. You should be doing something. And I know it doesn't fit in your life right now. And I know it's too expensive. And I know it takes too much time. And I know it takes too much energy. And I know that you feel awkward in the gym, or some things hurt when you move. And we could go on and on and on.
What if I don't mean to sideline you here, but what if you got in a catastrophic car accident on your way home today?
Exactly where I was going.
It would then become the priority.
Yep.
Right. Your health is the most disregarded asset that you have access to. And I think if more people understood the gravity of that, we would be operating lives so much differently. We haven't talked about this in a long while, but the analogy of I can only juggle so many balls. Some of them are glass, some of them are rubber, some of them are bubbles, meaning that they pop on their own. A rubber ball can be set down and it doesn't break. I drop a glass ball, that's it, right? Your own fitness and longevity and health is a glass ball. That doesn't mean that you have to be doing exactly the optimal routine and exactly the macros that you need to. But if your health and your longevity and your wellness and your fitness was taken away from you because of something catastrophic that were to happen to you, see my client who had cancer back to back twice, it would be the only priority. This is of utmost importance. And so how would I be operating and living my life if I truly understood that while I still have my health and longevity?
That's exactly where I was going. It was like, why is it never a question of, well, should I use crutches now that I broke my leg? Or should I get a cast? Or should I get surgery? Or should I take this medication? Or should I do, like, that's never a question. And it halts everything else in your life. It now becomes priority number one. Everything you care about takes a back seat. Your job, all of it. That sucks. And I'm not saying we can prevent that, right? You can't prevent everything from happening. Like if I take my dog on a walk and a car jumps the curb and hits me, I'm not going to be okay. I'm going to be more okay than some people, but it's going to be real bad. But there's so many things that you can prepare for. And I've been feeling a lot in the past couple of months that this is like an emergency that not enough people are taking for granted. An emergency people aren't giving enough weight to, because so many people are kind of getting away with it. Like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. No, I do this.
It's fine.
But life isn't that hard. They aren't, I don't know a lot of people who are like logging for 12 hours a day or things like that. And so it's fine. But when they're called upon to withstand something, and maybe that thing is cancer, maybe that thing is tripping on a curb. And is your balance, coordination, and foot speed enough to save you? So it's just a clumsy Justin. Or is it a fucking faceplant and you break your hip and now there's a 1 in 4 chance that you're going to die? Because that's what happens when people break their hip.
Right. Yeah. It's if it feels like we're really fired up about this, that's because we are. Because it is so easy to overlook, like, I just don't have time to exercise right now. And, my step count is 2,000 steps or lower. I'm sitting for 12 hours a day. The season that the kids are in is crazy. Like, there's just no way that I could make this work right now. But when things ease up, I'll definitely think about this. What do you mean?
Yeah. First of all, what do you mean ease up? That's not That's not a thing that happens.
That's a myth too, right? Like life's not going to ease up. It might change. The requirements of your life are certainly going to go through ebbs and flows depending on the season of the year, depending on your career, depending on your season of parenting, all of that. Like all of that will change. But nobody can achieve your fitness for you. And that will become the sole focus of your life if you lose it.
Yeah, 100%. And you need to prepare for it, and that's why it needs to be a bigger priority, right?
Yeah.
If you are so healthy and so fit that you could do stuff for fun, which first of all, you're in the minority. Most people aren't able to do that. And I'm down for that. If your social group fitness class is a thing that you mostly do to have fun, but you're definitely getting stronger, faster, more resilient, all that stuff, great.
Sick.
And I don't care, like the CrossFit or the High Rocks or the boot camp or the whatever it is. Awesome. Your run club that also does some weighted stuff, like all of that's great. But the answer can't be, I don't have time or I can't. Like, there has to be a thing that fits. And maybe it's a free app and a rubber band or body weight.
Right.
Like 100%. Like I get that you and I have made ourselves inaccessible to a bunch of people.
Totally.
And there's yes, we've made ourselves inaccessible to a whole bunch of people. And there's levels all the way up and down. There is endless amounts of free stuff that you can do, including I've put out a ton of, we all put out a ton of free stuff.
There's stuff on YouTube.
The routine and the consistency and the structure to keep you going when things get hard and busy and cold and stressful and achy and rushed and all that stuff, that it can still happen and still fit in. Because if you're not moving with your body with intention, certainly at least 3 times a week, and ideally, walking or some kind of locomotion every single day, you are not staying still. You are heading in a direction. And I strongly think you're not going to appreciate the end point of that direction. You know what I mean?
I think that that's a really important point to make that I quite honestly had never considered. Doing nothing is not neutral. Doing nothing is depreciating.
Yeah, you're not static. You are in motion right now, heading somewhere. You just are.
Yeah.
And the things you do are the things that determine what that path looks like. And every decision is a big one, but and I know I'm first of all, I'm really glad. I'm always glad you're here. But this is the kind of stuff that could just be like a fucking beardy dude on a podcast screaming about how people don't exercise
if you're
enough.
Not growing,
you
you're
need some
declining.
Discipline when you have to, and it's not that. It's really, I really think it's a discussion of priority more than anything else. Like the house is on fire and you do not realize it. And it's only going to get worse unless you do something about it.
Right.
Now, there's lots of things that can be done.
And we've also talked about this at length, that anything worth doing requires the infrastructure for it, right? Like if we use the house on fire analogy, right? Like we should probably know where the closest water source is, and we should probably have a fire extinguisher, and we should maybe have like a fire blanket next to the grill, right? Think about what are those things for my fitness. Okay, sick. If I am in a environment where I'm working out of my house, maybe that means that I need to block my calendar for 20 minutes so that I can move my body intentionally during that period of time, right? Like what is the infrastructure that needs to be true so that you can try to prevent from your house catching fire?
Yeah, and it will be uncomfortable at first, especially if it's not ideal, right? I know people, I have clients who, the way they work out is they have a membership to a really, really nice gym. It has really nice stuff and it smells great and the towels are so soft and the bathroom just carries the nicest things. And that's what they feel like they need to work out.
Right.
If everything closed down tomorrow, every single one of those people would be crushing themselves doing bodyweight only stuff in their apartment.
Right.
Now, they wouldn't be happy about it. They would be fucking cranky and I would hear about it, especially because I'm the one who has to construct however many intense bodyweight workouts. But it can be done. And sometimes that discomfort of like, what do you mean I'm going to walk 30 laps around my house 4 times a day? That sounds like the most boring shit in the world. Yeah, it does. Maybe if you do that for 2 weeks, you'll get so fucking sick of it that you'll go outside. And I'm not trying to be like tough love dickhead here, but like people aren't doing enough by a really big degree. And and then when it turns, when it's a catastrophe, there's nothing to be done anymore. Now we're stuck.
Yeah. There's one client who comes to mind for me who is on the other side of this. We just recently stopped working together because of an unwillingness to do things in any way other than the way that was exactly the way they wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Well, I can't get to the gym and I can't do my programming, so I'm not going to do anything. And it came up enough times and we had enough intentional conversations about like, hey, this mindset is really in your way and it's likely to keep you from making any kind of meaningful progress. And I'm not just going to keep taking your money and writing sessions for you that we know you're not going to be able to do because you cannot do this in this way right now. Like the circumstances of your life do not allow you to train in the ways that you'd like to train in them. I just flat out stopped writing workouts and said, hey, reach out when you're ready. Like I halted billings. I care about you tremendously. This is the thing. And I respect you enough to tell you that. I'm not going to keep taking your money and patting you on the back and saying like, that's okay. Next week will be a better week, because it's probably not going to. And it's probably not going to be that way for the next 6 or 7 years, knowing this person's life stage. Your mindset and your approach to fitness need to change, or we're going to stay exactly where we are.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and it has to be incredibly important. It has to be mandatory. And no one else, including Weezy and myself, can make it important for you.
Right.
Like we're yelling and talking and exhorting about this, but if it doesn't matter to you, it doesn't. And same thing, if someone says, it's like a 3 out of 10 for me to work on my fitness right now, I might ask them a few questions, but if we determine that's true, I say, great, we are definitely not working together, because that's not going to work. You're not in a place to do it. That's not good. That doesn't mean that person shouldn't definitely be working on their fitness.
Right.
It means they aren't capable of doing it for themselves right now. And because they're over the age of 18, no one can make them do it. So here we are. So now I'm empathetically walking away from someone that I know needs help, and I'll communicate that to them. So, I think you should do something. There's lots of ways to do it. There's free stuff. There's bodyweight stuff. But like, you need, if you don't start today, you're going to be so sad 4 months from now when you try and do this thing all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And there is so much opportunity to reinvent over and over and over and over again what fitness, health, longevity, wellness, and the pursuit of it can look, right? Like if all you got time for is 3 minutes of modified push-ups on your countertop and squats to your toilet, 6, that's 3 minutes that you wouldn't have done. Can we make it 4 tomorrow?
Exactly. Do that and track it. I just had a massive deja vu. This is actually how I probably started my first fitness thing ever. I was in the first time I got my own room, which was very exciting. I was like 14 years old, and I had gotten these weird PVC pipes. They were like a triangle. So the base on the ground, it goes up, comes down, and they were listed as push-up bars. I don't remember how I got them or found them or bought them or whatever. I was a theater kid who was not doing fitness of any kind at all.
Right.
And I literally did 1 push-up and 2 sit-ups. And the next night, I did 2 push-ups and 4 sit-ups.
Yeah.
And the next night, I did 3 push-ups and 6 sit-ups. And I pushed that, and every day I was like, well, I can do 1 more. And
what's 1 more?
I don't know where this came from. I was like, oh, I can do 1 more. And eventually I had to like break it up. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna keep doing push-ups until I've done 30. And then I'll do whatever it ended up being, 60 sit-ups or something like that. And it radically changed because it progressed.
Right.
Like if I had done 1 push-up, or if I had done 20 push-ups the first day and kept doing that forever, Yeah, there would probably be some change, but it would
Right.
flatline and then not let you adapt and not let me get better.
Yeah.
That progression is so important.
Well, I think what can be really tricky about this too, especially in like the social media, like you open your phone and you're confronted with what other people are doing. For people who are sedentary, meaning not moving at all, there can be this misconception that fitness has to look a certain way, right? Like I have to have 90 minutes and it's got to be this incredibly dialed in, like periodized, yada, yada, yada. And, here's the most optimal way to move for your glute growth. And blah, 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 blah,
I
blah,
need
blah.
a pendulum squatter. Nothing else works.
Right. And so people who are currently not moving their bodies intentionally will look at this and be like, well, I can't possibly do that, so I'm not going to do anything. Could we start with like 2 squats?
Yep.
Like
How many
if
squats
you're
can you
not,
do in
if
20
you're
seconds?
right, if you're not doing that at this point, that is a beautiful place to start. Right? Like it doesn't have to be this incredible elaborate, I've got the best gym and I have the best program and I know exactly what I'm doing and I know what I'm wearing and yada 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 yada. Just start.
Yeah. And
And start tiny. Where does it fit in your life? Great, do that.
exactly. But you have to be doing it and we have to be
Yeah.
moving forward and ideally progressing it in some way. I also think, especially because you mentioned social media and what people see, this is separate from like athletes doing stuff in season and off season, right? And
Right.
you'll see this with professional athletes. You'll see this with like hobby athletes, your CrossFit and your marathoners and your high rocks. You'll see this
Mhm.
with like bodybuilding when people are like, oh, well, like this is my in-show prep kind of thing and nutritional
Right.
workouts. And these are my off season. Like that matters less. What matters is that we are being consistent and progressing. If you get to
Right.
the point where you are incredibly consistent, your routine is dialed in, and you're using progressive overload and your nutrition is pretty good, and then you want to start doing some like periodizing stuff to optimize for certain times, sure.
Sure.
Most people will never need that, possibly
Right.
unpopular opinion, and
Yeah.
most people are nowhere near that even being appropriate or honestly even useful.
Right. I remember that being a part of Precision Nutrition's level 1 certification as
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
talking about like, hey, here are all the things that we need to think about for somebody who is starting a nutrition journey. And it's all the basics that we harp on consistently, right? We need to sleep well. We need to think about our food. We need to practice palm portion sizing or just being aware of like, hey, what are the portions of which type of food that I'm having? And that there is such a small subset that needs to progress from that to what are my macros and what is my meal timing and like all the little intricacies that that probably is really really important for the person that it's important for, right? Like if you need to make weight to participate in your
Yep.
sport and then also have the energy to participate in your sport, it's probably really important to work with a professional who works with people like that. But what I remember really specifically from that curriculum is how much it harps on, hey, you can't stay here forever. Like even the people who need to step to this have to step back down or they will go nuts. It will cross into an unhealthy space.
All the time. That happens
So,
all
like,
the time.
even the people who are doing that, who need an incredibly refined program, whether it's nutrition or whether it's movement, they have very specific goals and a legitimate need for them. Um, even they aren't there forever because
Yeah.
they would lose their minds. There's no way.
Yeah. And this is almost all supplements and certainly all freaking peptides and peptide related things fall into this camp. Like
Mhm.
almost none of them do what they claim to do. Almost none of them are actually, well, that's an exaggeration. A lot of them aren't what they claim to be,
Mhm.
meaning that quality control is incredibly low and you don't actually know what you're getting in the
Mhm.
can or God help you in the vial that shipped from somewhere under someone's name and you're
Right.
injecting this nonsense into your body. And all of those things might make a 1% difference. And that
Yeah.
only matters if you're, the top 99% fighting against the top 98%, and you really need that edge, sure. But those people have all the boring stuff very dialed in.
Right.
We're going to do another episode when I'm less screamy about coaches who give people blood tests and then magically everyone needs gray market peptides that have never gone through a single human trial. There's so many coaches, and it's a very lucrative field right now. And I think it's going to grow more and more, and it pisses me off.
I've seen increasingly more, like, call them graduated CrossFit athletes, like who were elite level CrossFitters and now have aged out of it a little bit, who have built successful, like, coaching and programming programs, who are now also dipping their toe into the peptide and supplement game, and it just feels so gross. Blah.
It's a bummer. There's a bunch of companies who are doing that. They're doing outreach and basically saying, you're going to be the middle person, right? We have the labs. We have doctors who will sign off on this stuff. All you have to do is connect the person to us. You're not taking any liability. You're just connecting clients who need this stuff.
You're just the face, right?
They'll get the blood test, and we'll sign off, and we'll give them, quality tested from our lab, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's going to be great. I'm just like, do you know what a drug dealer does?
Right.
Because you're not, like, what value are you providing here other than using your reputation and your expertise to also sign off on these people who I don't believe you know that much about? And I think came to you with an offer that was probably fantastic. And I'm not against people making money doing all kinds of stuff, but I really don't like it. I'm sorry, I dragged us on that tangent.
No, I don't think you should apologize at all. It feels very predatory, and it's like the pharmaceutical rep of the future is the coach, and that's just gross.
And I think certainly given the way politics are now, regulations are not going to catch up fast enough before really bad things start happening, if they even get reported on. Like, there's literally, like, all kinds of peptides being pushed that have never had a human trial run.
Yeah.
You're like, well, why would anyone put that in their body? Much less, like, be regulated or recommended for something, but, like, we don't even know what it does. We know what you say it does. 36-year-old person who's good at thrusters. But why would I believe you about anything?
Right.
You wore the finger shoes. I remember the finger shoes. I wore those because you told me to. How dare you? I'm not
Don't shit on finger shoes.
Absolutely not. Do we have anything else to say about the start yesterday emergency of movement in the world?
If you find yourself circling the drain on, like, well, I just don't know what to do, you don't have to work with us to reach out.
100%.
Right? Like, DMs are perpetually open, and we will give as much away for free as physically possible.
Yeah. And there are almost endless 4-minute bodyweight only workouts that will toast you and be repeatable and progressible for a very long time.
Right. We were talking about this just before we started recording, that right before we started this call, I was on, like, a 4-minute run on the treadmill and sustained. Like, and
literally a 4-minute run. Yep.
Literally 4 minutes. That's it. Because I have a goal to get more steps. It's cold as fuck in Ohio. We've talked about how I hate winter. If you tell me to walk outside, I'm going to tell you to go kick rocks. And so I have structured these, like, micro breaks into my day to get some movement in. And, like, it's been great. It's been incredible.
Yep. If you sit in the bottom of whatever your squat is for 20 seconds, 10 times a day, that's less than 6 minutes work. And your hips will feel different in a week.
Yes.
And yes,
true.
that counts as intentional movement. Like,
facts.
It's all but sitting still and waiting for the right time and the right program and the stars to align and it to be more accessible is the wrong way. We need to find a place to start.
Right. And childcare and a better schedule and, well, I want to get my full 8.5 hours of sleep. I don't want to wake up half an hour
Yeah.
earlier than I need to. You're gonna keep waiting, and we hate to see people's houses on fire when they could have just turned around 6 months ago and been like, "Oh yeah, my wiring's faulty. I just need to change this one switch."
Yeah, exactly. And waiting for it to be fun or easy or enjoyable is a huge mistake.
Huge
Like,
mistake.
there is someone
You
in the
might
world
get
right
there.
now. Yeah, but that being, like your earlier client, and I've certainly had people like this where there's a million reasons it can't happen.
Mhm.
And because they are who they are at that moment, it's true.
Mhm.
Oh yes, well, because this is a little hard and uncomfortable and it's rushed and you're stressed and you had a hard morning and your boss yelled at you, and for all of those reasons you can't get your workout in.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right. You can't. Somebody else could. There's someone in the world right now with a baby strapped to their back moving across
Mhm.
the field. They're probably not happy about it. Things
Nope.
might not feel great, but
Nope.
they are doing better than you
Mhm.
with significantly less opportunity.
Right. And so if you're willing to get out of your own way, you will have the opportunity to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's already too late, so let's get going today.
Ominous.
I'm
Ominous.
sorry. I know I came in like I knew this was going to be a little
The
doom and gloomy,
cloud.
but like it's really important. And as two people, like we're usually like the nice people, and we'll find like 50. Well, I'm nice. We'll find 50 different ways to work with people, and I can start with someone from almost anywhere because they're willing to start and they're willing to move and they're willing to
Yeah.
progress. Like
Right.
wherever you are right now is a fine place to start from.
Mhm.
And this isn't
Mhm.
supposed to be a guilt trip of like, how did you let it get to this place?
No.
What a bad person. But it is, no one said it's your fault, but it is your responsibility. We have to get working on this because it might become really, really, really important sooner and faster than you realize.
Right. And I think if more people knew like the shit that they might encounter in their lives, they'd be like, "Oh fuck, I got to get
Yeah.
like we got to go."
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, should we pivot from doom and gloom into a segment?
Oh, yes. 100%. The segment is end of life planning. Oh, Weezy. Oh, no.
Oh, fuck. No, the segment today is a true or false about Weezy
Ooh, fascinating.
because I was low on brain space.
Sure. I dig it.
So, true or false. So, it's either pass fail. I'm going to read a sentence to you, and you're going to tell me if it's true or false.
Excellent. I'm in.
Are you ready?
I believe I'm ready.
Okay. My art elective in high school was metalworking.
Sorry, for some reason I misunderstood the quiz at first. I think that's completely believable. I'll say true.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is correct. I spent 4 periods out of the 9 period day in the art room metalworking.
That's cool.
It is cool. I had a piece in the art museum at one point that I am
Ooh.
devastated. I have no idea where it is. So
Is
that's
it still in their collection? Could it be in like the art museum basement?
No, I got it back, and I think
Oh.
probably between the number of moves and my parents moving, and at some point it got lost in the fray. But I really liked working with enamel on metal,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
um, and using a technique called cloisonné, which is French,
Ooh la
where
la.
you use like a very thin wire
Mhm.
to create patterns on the metal that you then enamel within.
Oh, nifty. That sounds cool.
Yeah. And so I would use like a number of different types of enamel and then also sometimes like a wire pick that I
Mhm.
would stick into the 2000-degree kiln and
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to draw this design and I think it's going to work. Um, and I loved it. It was great
I
fun.
like that kind of stuff where it's that combination of like big and heavy and kind of sturdy work with like the raw ingots of metal and the fire and all the protective
Right.
stuff and the big gloves, and then doing a really delicate, lovely work with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think fondly about that time. And I also really, really, really liked my art teacher and really, really hated the anxiety of the lunchroom.
Okay.
And so was grateful to spend a chunk of my
Win-win.
day there. Yeah,
Yeah.
win-win. Win-win. Okay, next one. I hate Indian food.
Oh, so I know you're picky about flavors, and I think you're a little picky about textures. Is that fair enough? Are you not answering me?
I'm not
Okay.
answering you.
You're not giving me any, because we've talked about, I know like you've got some sensation stuff. I feel like texture is part of that. I wonder if all of the like stuff glooping together and 4 different kinds of saucy stuff might not be your thing. I'm going to say it's true that you don't like Indian food.
That is true. I hate Indian food. That is the one type of food that if somebody asked me, what should we get for lunch? I will say not Indian food.
Okay. I like Indian. Did I ever tell you about that Rebecca and I spent like 3 weeks in India?
No.
Yeah. It was dope. She did her last um semester? Her last bit of medical school was a doctor abroad thing. And she
Oh,
went to
cool.
Bangalore, India she was there for like 8 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that. And I went for the last few days, and then we traveled kind of up the coast for a couple of weeks together. It was great. Loved it.
Yeah,
Life
not a
changing.
fan. I do like Thai food a lot,
Absolutely. Huge fan.
but
Very different.
very different. Cannot handle like all the smells, the thick textures.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Makes sense.
I made my a cappella choir teacher pay me $1,200.
You made some part of that. No, false.
It is true.
Okay.
It is
Go
true.
ahead.
So my senior year of high school, one of the electives that I was in was a cappella choir, and they went to Disney every year. And there was a like big fundraiser to raise money for this trip to Disney, right? And I love a contest. I love
Sure.
to win.
Yeah.
Even if there was nothing on the line, but I wanted to win. And so I sold the ever loving shit out of those pies. And I made $1,200 towards my trip. Like it was not like we're raising money for the whole trip. It was like you're raising money
You
for
are fundraising for yourself.
You're fundraising for yourself, right? And I ended up dropping out of that class. My whole schedule got slashed somewhat because of withdrawing from school for an eating disorder recovery. And so when I came back, it was basically like, okay, we have the barest bones that we need to graduate. And then the rest of the time, like I'm still having some ongoing therapy, yada, yada. A cappella choir was one of the things that fell off. And I knew that I was going to be paying my own way to a couple of other things. And I thought, hey, I did all this legwork to fundraise this money for this trip that I'm not going on because I'm not in this class anymore. And so I am entitled to that.
Yeah.
And she fought it, and I escalated it to the highest level of the district, and I got $1,200.
Yeah. I mean, they're the ones who set up the structure that you were doing it for yourself. It is only your money. Therefore,
sick. It's my money.
I wonder if they changed it the next year.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
Next one. My favorite color has always been green.
Oh, I feel like green might have been a character shift. I'm going to say false.
That is false. My favorite color growing up was blue because it was not pink.
Oh, sure.
And hated pink. Have always had a problematic relationship with pink. And then for a good chunk of time, like early in my career with fitness, it was black. Because very, very early in my fitness as a career, I went to a networking event with a bunch of other fitness professionals, and somebody who I thought was so cool said, yeah, I mean, obviously they're only going to put out the black clothes for us because they know that that's all that we wear. And I was like, I put that on like a glove. Like a real fitness professional is only wearing
Only wears black?
I don't know. But I remember hearing that, and this was a person who I thought was just like
Totally.
so
Yeah.
cool. Like, oh, well, I'm gonna be that.
Yeah.
So, yes, green is within the last 6-ish years.
Sure.
My favorite lift is the overhead squat.
Oh, your favorite lift. Are we okay. No, I'm not gonna ask more questions. That's fair enough.
No more questions. I'm just gonna stare at you.
Because I thought your favorite lift was the snatch, but they're so related. And when things are feeling good, I know you're very stable and strong overhead. The overhead squat lets you kind of show that off a little bit more than the snatch in many ways. Ooh, it's so close. I'm gonna say true.
It is true. My
Yeah.
favorite lift is the overhead squat. I don't practice it very often anymore.
Yeah.
Because like it's just such a novelty.
Mhm.
But for both of my pregnancies, it was the lift that felt the best. And so I
Totally.
associate it to being like a very positive memory.
I really like the overhead squat too. I haven't done one in years, but it was
Mhm.
something where I could get like, if I could get the bar overhead, I 99 out of 100, I could overhead squat it. Like, I could just
Right.
get in that stable position, lock things in, like, "Oh, well, I can go now because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
bendy enough and I can put things in enough positions, like, this is gonna be great." And I could kinda
Right.
show off and feel stable and all that stuff.
Right. At my very strongest, I remember feeling really cool that I could overhead squat more than I weighed,
Yeah,
which was
legit.
like, this feels dope. Okay, next one. I woke up at 4 a.m. throughout college.
Okay. I wonder why that would be true. I don't know of you being on crew. I feel like you would have brought it up, which is often a reason people get up at 4 AM in college. But, oh, yeah, but there was all that, hmm. I think it's true.
It is true. It
Mhm.
is true. I did it when I was at USF just merely because I said I was gonna be a person who did that. I often would go and work out in the morning.
Sure.
Um, and then once I transferred to Ohio State, I got a job as a nanny, and
Oh.
I had to be at their house, like, walking in the front door by 7, because my job was to get the kids ready and get them to school, and then I would come back. Like, I structured my class schedule to be 8 to 1 o'clock or so,
Mhm.
and then I'd come back, maybe take a nap, have a late lunch, and then go back and pick the kids up from school, and then leave, like, between 6 and 6:30, right?
Yeah.
Um, so for me to train, I needed to get up at 4 to train and work out and have breakfast and, like, be walking to the car by quarter to 7.
Yeah, 100%. Makes total sense.
Yeah. I don't like chocolate.
You don't like chocolate. Hmm, okay. What do I know? I don't feel like I have any memories of you talking about chocolate one way or the other, which since it's never come up as, like, I don't remember it coming up as, like, a treat you like or a treat you were giving yourself or, you don't as far as I know, you don't, like, have a special favorite chocolate bar that you give to clients on holidays or when something goes really well. And you're the kind of person who might do that if it was something that was really important to you and you liked. So I'm gonna say it's true that you don't like chocolate.
I don't like chocolate. That is
Mhm.
correct. That is correct. Uh, I I wouldn't say that I actively hate it,
Mhm.
but if I ever have a choice between, like, chocolate or vanilla or something fruity, I am always gonna choose the other item.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm similar, like, I like it, I can enjoy it, but I never, ever crave it. At no moment do I want it. Like,
Yeah,
there is no chocolate thing you could put in front of me, and I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy that thing."
right.
Whereas there's other, carby, sugary stuff that can make me do that. I'm like, "No,
Mhm,
I
mhm.
kind of neutral."
Yeah. Ted and I, always kind of go around the same roundabout around Halloween time when it's time to pick out candy for giving away.
Mhm.
Um, in that he does like chocolate and he'll, like, try to pick up a bag. I'm like, no.
Nope.
No. And he's like, well, what if it's just for me? I'm like,
well, that's fine. Then you're just buying yourself a bag of chocolate.
It's fine.
We're here buying Halloween candy, which is different.
Right. I went skydiving in college.
And that's definitely the kind of thing you would do. Yeah, why not? True.
Incorrect.
Oh.
It has been on my bucket list for ages, and I've never actually done it.
I wouldn't do it for money. Absolutely not.
I feel more hesitant now, like having had children. Like I'm just sort of more risk averse.
Yeah.
On the whole than I used to be. Like I have videos of me jumping off a 60-foot cliff into water, and like now that kind of gives me the like, ooh.
Now your frontal lobe is fully developed. And you're like, wait a minute.
Well, I was like 26. Like,
well,
we were pretty well seasoned at that point.
Yeah. I would like to tell you a story, but don't want to take anything off your bucket list.
Okay, great. Don't. My favorite self-care activity is getting my nails done.
Oh, is that your favorite? You like getting your nails done, but you also do your own nails for a while, but that's also self-care. I think you like getting your hair done more than your nails done. I'm going to say nails is false.
It is false, but it's not false for the reason you thought. My favorite self-care activity is massage. I love massage.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
If I were to become spontaneously wealthy, I would get a massage a week. I like truly love them.
Yeah. I really like them and never ever get them.
Huh.
Yeah. It just doesn't occur to me until it's like
when you'd want
I'm
one.
Desperate or
Right. Yeah. I have an incredible massage therapist here in Columbus who I shout at everybody who mentions a massage might be nice. Have you seen Trisha? Go see Trisha. She's incredible. And I met her before I got pregnant with Jack. And as luck would have it, she has a bunch of prenatal and postpartum massage certifications. And a couple of years ago, she left a very high-end salon to start her own business. And so I extra super duper like supporting her now.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, last one. You ready?
Right. I'm ready.
I like skiing.
Huh. Does Weezy like skiing? It's the kind of thing that would appeal to you, but there's also a lot of binding and a lot of texture and a lot of being cold. You don't like being cold. Nah, you don't like skiing.
I do like skiing.
What the fuck? Your feet are all bound in those boots with the 3 layers of goggles, and you're going to fall down and then you're going to get snow everywhere?
Yeah, I do like skiing. Or maybe the better thing to say is I really like the idea of skiing.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I have very good balance. I was a figure skater. Not like super young, but got good enough at figure skating that my options were like hire a private coach and start learning some real stuff, or quit. And hire a private coach was just absolutely not in the budget, so I quit. But I have really good balance in that kind of like, hey, I'm on 2 different objects that are trying to maybe go different ways on a slippery surface.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took to it really quickly when I went skiing for the first time, and we planned a elaborate ski trip it would have been like January of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out about 10 days before the trip that I was pregnant with Walter.
Yep.
And when you go to a doctor after finding out that you're pregnant, the 2 things that they tell you are don't go in hot tubs and don't go skiing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, sick. I'm about to do both of those things. What's next?
I was going to alternate those 2 things for the next 5 days, actually.
Right. Is that going to be a problem? And she said, no, not a problem. But in the hot tub, I need you to go legs only. And skiing, you can ski as much as you like, but don't fall.
Right.
And that got so in my head that we spent almost the entire 4 days like on catwalks. So I think if I were to go again, particularly if I were to go like somewhere on the East Coast and not where we went, which was like out west up in the mountains, I would enjoy it tremendously. And I do have the ability to enjoy the cold when I'm doing something fun like that I like. Like, I associate like going down a big meaty hill with like almost a self-propelled roller coaster. Like, this is dope. I enjoy this tremendously. But
I've only been skiing 3 or 4 times, and like one was like as a kid, and then 8 years later, and then 10 years later. So I had to like relearn it every time. But Rebecca and I went and had a pretty great time, and then we went again the next year. And like partway through day 2, she just kind of stopped and looked at me and was like, "Yeah, I'm not enjoying this. Like, all I'm doing, I'm spending the whole time worried that I'm going to break my wrist, and I'm a fucking surgeon. And I know you like being here, but this is no fun." I said, "Oh, we should stop immediately. Let's go to the lodge." And that was that. And I haven't skied since, and it's fine. Like, it's not like something was taken away from me. It was like, "Oh, I enjoyed what little skiing I've done. I totally dug it, but it kind of doesn't fit my life right now."
Right. I feel similarly in like enjoyed it, probably wouldn't pick to do it again.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was about Weezy.
That was good. I like it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I did okay too. And I wasn't keeping score.
It's 6-3.
It's not bad. I'll take it.
It's not bad. It's passing grade.
Anytime I can pass one of these quizzes, I'm way ahead of the game.
Well done. Well done. Next time it'll be some shit I made up.
Yes. All
Team.
lies.
This has been Training Partners. I'm Weezy Shoemaker. That's Justin McClintock. We will yell at you next time.
Thanks, team.
Team, welcome to Training Partners.
Instant meltdown.
Okay, let's try that again. 2 business professionals.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hang on. Get it together, Wheeze!
You just have to say the words that you've said 30 times before. Oh, God. I got the yips. You're recording, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't put this on me. Do not put this shit on me.
Okay, she can do it.
Here come your training partners, so smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners. We're ready to shine.